Okay, so girls, let us continue classification of living things. Quickly, we are gonna revise. We had 8 kingdoms. In that, the first one was domain. Domain again has 3. What are the 3? Domain. See, this is what we studied about domain. And then we told domain has bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. These are the 3 subdivisions of domain. Now, what else? Now, what are the subdivisions of eukarya, girls? There are 4 subdivisions of eukarya. Can you say me 4 of them?
Yes, miss.
Eukarya has 4 divisions. Protist,
Miss?
Malak.
Yeah.
Tell me, eukarya has, see, domain has 3. I told you eukarya, bacteria, and
Bacteria, archaea, and eukarya.
okay, archaea and okay. Now, how about eukarya? Eukarya have 4. What are the 4?
Miss, I know it. The
Tell me.
Animalia,
Yes.
Protista,
Yes.
fungi,
Huh?
and Plantae, I think. Plantae.
Okay. It is protist, fungi, plants.
Fungi and Animalia and
Yeah.
Plantae.
Now, we studied about fungi that they get energy by absorbing and they use digestive juices to break down materials for food.
And they are single cell.
Plants, they make their own food. They reproduce either sexually or asexually. Again,
Miss, the fungi, are they decomposer?
yes, they are decomposers.
Oh.
Animalia, again, they reproduce sexually. Many of them sexual. Very few are asexual, like birds, fish, reptiles, amphibians and mammals. Then we have what do you call as we have finished with this, and then I told you about the cladogram, how it looks like, and exoskeleton. They are talking about different animals. Now, what we have something called as dichotomous key, girls. Even in grade 5, I've discussed with this dichotomous key. I told you it's a key where you have 2 options, yes or no. Like example, we had blue. We have 2 options. I can buy either red color shoes or blue color shoes. If I don't get a red color, I will buy blue one. In blue one, I want to buy either shoe laces one or without laces. So you know that what you prepare like the table, yes and no table, that is nothing but called as dichotomous key. Each pair of a statement is numbered. Either you choose the statement that the best describe the organism, or you are directed to the new pair. Either you choose yes or you go to something else. This process happens until you can identify the organism. So this is all about this lesson. We'll continue to watch the video. I think that day we have watched the video about it. Okay, we have history of life on earth. That is lesson number 4. I guess I have sent you the, again I will do it, don't worry.
Let's say you collect plants as a hobby. You've spent several summer days collecting and drying plant samples. Now you need to figure out how to sort the plants so that you can look them up and label them. How will you do this? Lucky for you, a system of classification was developed.
Did you watch this video, girls?
The story of how we classify.
Did you watch this lesson or no?
The system of classification that Linnaeus developed had only
Girls,
Carolus
Yes,
Linnaeus developed an
did you
early.
watch this video?
No, Miss, we didn't didn't see that.
Imagine you're a
Come on, continue.
scientist in the mid-1700s on an expedition to explore far northern latitudes. Ice is beginning to appear in the water. One cold morning, you look out and see these creatures. How would you begin to classify them? Keep in mind that you have never seen this animal before. What kind of things would you look at to help you classify it? What characteristics could you use? Today, scientists use 8 levels of classification. Click each level to learn more.
This is what we studied: domain, eukarya, protist, fungi, animal, and planting.
Domain is the most general level of classification. There are 3 domains: eukarya, bacteria, and archaea. Eukarya refers to organisms that have cells with nuclei. Protists, fungi, animals, and plants all belong to the domain eukarya. Animalia and Plantae are 2 kingdoms in domain eukarya. The animal kingdom includes animals from protozoa to mammals. A phylum is a subdivision of a kingdom. Polar bears are part of the phylum Chordata. Animals in this phylum all have backbone. Each class is made up of orders. Class Mammalia contains several orders, such as Carnivora, which includes cats, dogs, and bears, and Chiroptera, which includes bats. Orders are divided into families. The order Carnivora includes Ursidae, bears, Canidae, dogs, and Felidae, cats. Families are made up of many genera. A genus contains many species and is the first part of a scientific name. Members of a species can produce offspring with one another. The species name combines with the genus name to provide each animal's scientific name. We classify living things into 3 domains: eukarya, bacteria, and archaea. Click the colored areas to learn more about each domain and the kingdoms in eukarya, the domain in which we belong.
Okay, click the colored areas to learn more about each domain and the kingdoms in eukarya.
Miss, but there is no sound.
You would have told me, right? Once again. You couldn't hear anything from that time?
No, Miss, because actually when you put there's the pause and play, you can't.
Yeah. Sometimes it did not get clicked, so you must inform me, right? Like from time there's no sound. Anyways.
Bacteria are prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are single-celled organisms
Almost there's
that lack a
sound now.
nucleus.
Okay.
Archaea are prokaryotes, but they differ significantly from bacteria. They are often found in harsh environments, such as hot springs, thermal vents, and very salty water. Most animals are complex multicellular organisms with cells that lack cell walls. Most animals can move around on their own. Animals get their energy by eating other organisms. Most fungi are multicellular organisms that make spores to reproduce. They release digestive juices to break down materials for food. Eukaryotes are single-celled or multicellular organisms with membrane-bound organelles in their cells. Eukaryotes are often much larger than prokaryotes.
Of course, eukaryotes are multicellular. They have to be large.
Most protists are single-celled
Remember when I was
organisms.
explaining you protists, I told they are animal-like, they are plant-like. Like
Yeah.
it's a protist, but it looks like a plant.
Most protists are single-celled organisms. They may be animal-like, plant-like, or fungus-like. Both slime molds and algae are types of protists. Plants vary in size and form, but nearly all are multicellular. Plants have cells with cell walls, and they make their own food by photosynthesis. Members of a species can produce offspring with one another. The species name combines with the genus name to provide each animal's scientific name. We classify living things into 3 domains: eukarya, bacteria, and archaea. Click the colored areas to learn more about each domain and the kingdoms in eukarya, the domain in which we belong.
Girls, what can you see in the screen? I don't know where it went.
Miss, I can see the bacteria and the archaea and the fungi, animals, plant, protist, eukarya.
One minute.
Diagram, also called a cladogram, is a chart that groups together organisms by shared characteristics.
Remember I said that this is a branching diagram and this is called as a cladogram?
Yes, Miss.
Cladogram. Can you hear the
A branching diagram shows
Yeah,
relationships
Now?
among species. Organisms are grouped according
Can you hear, girls?
Miss, I didn't open it because now I can't hear.
Let me check again. I think yes, you will.
to certain characteristics,
Yeah, Miss,
usually
now I
shown
can
by a
hear.
line.
Okay.
Branches then extend from this line. Organisms on the right side of the line have a certain characteristic. Organisms on the left side of the line do not. For example, look at this diagram. Do you see the line that says jaws? The hagfish on the left side of the line does not have jaws. The perch on the right side of the line does. In fact, every organism on the right side of the line also has jaws. Look at the diagram. What does the salamander have that the perch does not? What does the lizard and all the other animals to the right of it have that animals on the left side of the line do not? The lizard and all animals to the right of the line have amniotic eggs. The salamander, perch, and hagfish, which are all left of the line, do not have amniotic eggs. A dichotomous key sounds as if it were something hard.
As I told you, the name is very tough, dichotomous key, but I told you, just remember that dichotomous key, whenever you hear that key, just imagine yes or no. I have many options. If not, go for the other. If not, go for the, and finally you get your thing.
A dichotomous key has two statements. Each statement either says something true about the
Yes,
organism
or something no.
or sends you to another pair of statements.
Okay.
The process continues until it becomes clear what the organism is. Keep clicking on statements to see how the process works. Does the snake have yellow, black, and red stripes? If so, click on the next image.
See, this is how. If they have yellow, black, and red stripes, click on the other image. No, we will go for another option.
Are the red and black stripes touching? Click the next image.
Are they touching red and black? No.
If the red and black stripes are touching, it is a scarlet king snake, and it is not poisonous. If the answer is no, the snake is a poisonous coral snake, and you'd better stay away. Can you think of why a dichotomous key could be really useful?
This is really useful to finally find a, or in any Vegas. Like example, if you have made a key from beginning before shopping, it's very good for you. Okay, imagine if I don't get this option, I'll go for the shoe without laces. Okay, if I get the shoe without laces, I will choose a black color. If I don't get a black color, I'll buy a blue color. Understood? If you have your plan in your mind for yes and no, that is dichotomous key. So your things will be easier. That's what it says.
You've seen how scientists classify organisms into different levels, such as kingdom, order, and class. Look at each organism here and think about how it could be classified. Choose the most specific category and drag the appropriate label.
I'm sorry, girls.
For example, chordata is the most specific category listed that applies to a fish,
Come on,
so we would choose
girls.
that one.
Prokaryote, or what else? What else you see here? Come on. Where is the according to you, single cell? Which picture? Can I do jellyfish? Bacteria is a prokaryote, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can I drag this? Okay. Next, kingdom Plantae. What do you think? Correct. Insect.
Class.
The first one.
The first one, yeah.
Eukarya.
And the
this or this. Both are eukarya. Both are multicell.
But
Last one. Okay. No. What does that mean? Okay.
the jellyfish.
Domain. No. They are not.
Okay, how is a domain?
Yeah. Because we didn't click the name. That's
Great. The most general
Besides, the
classification level
jellyfish
is a domain.
Eukarya.
Jellyfish are in the domain Eukarya.
Yes, it can be like that.
The next level is kingdom. Ferns are in the kingdom Plantae. Remember that plant collection from the beginning of the lesson? Suppose you were out exploring in the forest and found a plant you'd never seen before. What tool could you use to identify it? Type your answer in the box and click OK when you're finished.
Well, we're not doing this.
You've learned a lot about classifying living things. Before we finish, let's take a quick look at the main points you covered. Carolus Linnaeus came up with a classification system that we still use today. We classify living things by ordering them into domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Branching diagrams and dichotomous keys Use characteristics to classify or identify living things. Now that you've finished this lesson, if you wish, you can go back and review any part of the lesson again.
I don't think so. You wish to go back to the lesson and review again. These lessons